Yesterday, what are we done? If you have any issues, also please tell me. So then I will try to resolve it. So this is my server. I'm trying to log in. Magnifier. Okay. So what is this organizational unit? Oh, sorry. This is the one. Okay. So what is organizing? What is meant by organizing? Okay. So for example, in your Active Directory, you have a users, groups, computers, and other resources, other service accounts, anything. Okay. So like a service accounts are there, resource are like a printer, scanner, if you are adding those kind of stuff. Okay. So what are you are adding? So we can put it these things into a container. Okay, we can put into a container means a folder, or maybe you can say uh, a box, you can say, like, right? So organizational unit is nothing but a container. In this container, so you can put a users, groups, and computers. Okay. But why we should use this one? We can use already existing containers, right? So one thing is, think like this: I have a different departments are there. For example, IT support department, HR department, development, related development. In development also different development departments are there. For example, Java related people. Okay. Or maybe .NET people, maybe Python, like that. Or maybe testing people are there. And I have a DevOps people are there, people who are doing DevOps. Or maybe server engineers, network engineers, um, only service desk people, like that. Okay. So different when one organization in one enterprise, one company, so different type of employees are there, no? So for example, if you take sales department, service department, finance department, so different departments are there, right? Project managers department, project managers, so like that. Different employees in a different roles or a different departments there are located. So for example, server engineers, network engineers, desktop support engineers, all are comes under IT support. HRs, human resources department, those are under HR. Different development people are there. So Java developer, .NET developer. So there I can put in a separate sub content. Like you have a collection of music files are there. Okay, depends upon singer, or maybe depends upon a movie, depends upon album, depends upon a music director. Okay. So based on which you can separately you can put it in a different folders. For example, movies or videos are there, like you download movies, you download materials, means for learning anything, like you download YouTube video, or videos class materials, or maybe you download ISO images, you download virtual machines softwares, we keep it in a different folders, right? So that is called organizing the data. Here we are organizing users, groups, and computers in a different containers. That is called a organizational unit. What is organizational unit? Organizing users, groups, and computers in a different containers, called a organizational unit. So these are all containers. It means these are all OUs only, organizational units. In each one you can create a different users, depends upon the user in the thing. Okay, something Jayashree. Okay, yeah, everyone is there now. So this is called a organizational unit. What is the other benefits of organizational unit? One is we can link group policy. We can link a group policy. We can link a or a multiple group policies to OU. Just for example, this is my tree. Okay, so here I have a different OUs are there. So for example, IT support. Here it is HR, sales department. Here it is development. In a development, I have a sub OUs like a Java, Python, .NET, like this. Just for example. Okay. Here, these are our OUs. Each OU is nothing but a container. Containers. So this is a sub OUs, means it is under Java is under development. Python is under development. .NET is under development. So this is a sub OUs. Each in a OUs you can able to put a users, groups, computers, like that. Okay. For example, here in IT support, I take a one user like a Jayashree. Okay. So belongs to IT support. Maybe I will put Sai Kiran. Both are in a IT support. Guys, have to check the names. Otherwise, you tell names. Akram. Akram has become a HR. Okay. For example, anybody knows Java and CSC guys are there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me name. Pratiksha.
Yes, sir.
So, so Java person. Pratik. So I put a Pratiksha in a Java. So like that we can organize users. For example, I have a group. Name is group name is there, some group IT support group like a means um, monitoring purpose, like, or maybe NOC group. Okay, network monitoring related one, NSE group. I created a group and I can put these things in a IT support. Maybe a computer specifically we can put it like a C1, C2, S1, S2 under this group. Okay, like this we can put it in a one OU. So these are all belongs to this OU. This is Akram is belongs to HR, Pratiksha belongs to Java. Like we can take different names. Nikita. Okay, maybe belongs to Python. Okay, so we'll take a name. We can create a user in a different OUs, organizing users, groups, computers in a separate containers. So this is the container, and the container we call it as a organizational unit. Next, group policies, right? So I created a group policy, like for example, group policy number one. Okay, group policy one. It is a policy name. What I done, I link this policy to this OU only. What is the policy? Policy means there is a setting. What is group policy? Group policy means there is a setting. Setting means maybe a firewall setting, access allowed setting, access deny setting, or maybe application setting, maybe desktop environment setting, like that. So what is a, group policy? What is GPO content? GPO contains a setting or multiple setting. One setting can be there, or one or more settings we can do in a single group policy. So I created a group policy. I apply a group. I link a policy to IT support. Who will affect with this policy? All these people are getting a effect with the policy. Depends upon the policy type. So the users are affected with the policy. Means this setting is applied on these users. This setting is applied on this and this one also. For example, I given an access a setting. I given an access to servers and all, so they can log in directly. So I given some allowed access permission. I mentioned in the setting. So uh, users groups computers in the IT support, so they can able to access it. So they will get that permission. So this will applied on all these people. Next, for example, just for an example, I have a printer. The printer is accessible. Mainly, who will use the printer more? HR, because HR will record, HR will take a print out of resume or documents and finalizing. Okay, so signature, everything. So they will go with the paperwork, right? So they need a printer. So I add a printer information or printer settings to my group policy, and I link the policy to HR. The users groups computers in the HR will affect with this policy. Okay, will affect with this policy. So this printer setting not going to these people. Okay, so the printer information not going to these people. Printer information go to this user only, not these users. Why? The policy is linked to here only, the settings. So for example, I have another group policy. What happened? I have another group policy 3. For example, Java people required Java related applications, right? JDK download or IDE, Eclipse or anything. So they need a software. They need a certain software. So what I done? So I made that settings. I link the policy to Java, sub OU Java. So the user in that Java OU get the settings or deploy application to Pratiksha only, not not others. Now I have another group policy. Group policy 4. I link the group policy to developer. I link the group policy to developer. So this policy will applied to users in the all OUs. Okay, OU users groups computers in the .NET OU, Java OU, Python OU, and as well as developer OU, separate developer OU. Any users group computers are there, that are affected with these policies. Okay, so this policy GPO4 policy will apply like that. So this is another benefit of using group policy. You can link the group policy to OU. Okay, next, delegation control. What is this delegation control? Okay, what is this delegation control? For example, you have a OU. Okay, for example, you have a OU like a Java OU is there. Okay, a Java OU is there. Under this one, lot of people are there. So like a J user one, J user two. We'll take normal names only. So why we take already I taken Pratiksha, mm, what are happening? I'll take some name. Okay, Tejas, Vishal. It's small names. I'll take small names. Party, Tejas, not Tejas. Why? What happening? Tejas. Like this. Some name I taken. Just for example, these users are there in Java OU. Just example, Java OU. Someone is very experienced candidate is there. For example, I will take Vishal is working from so many years. For example, in organization senior, so the person knows how to deal with the user account settings kind of stuff. Okay, so what I done, I make this Vishal as a delegation control on this OU. What happened? You can take an user, any user from anywhere, but you can assign certain roles on the particular OU. Okay, you can tell normally domain administrator or enterprise administrator has all rights. Means any domain administrator can able to change settings like adding a user or deleting a user, changing passwords, adding a group, add a user to the group. So this is they can able to do it. Okay, but now admins are limited and admins are more. For example, Tejas forget password. Now contact administrator. I forget my password. Please reset my password. So admin is busy. So better to contact a delegation control candidate like a Vishal. So I forget my password. So then Vishal can able to change the password for a Tejas. Okay. So what is that meaning is you can have a control over a particular OU only. Particular OU only, not other OUs. For example, you want to change password for a JS3. You can't change it. If you want to change the password for JSC, you can't change it because it's a different OU. You are in Java OU, you have a rights. I given a rights on a Java OU only. I given rights on a Java OU only, not IT support OU. So what happened? So you cannot access other OUs. You cannot read, you cannot write. Only you can able to read or modify things in the your own OU means the user who got the delegation, and there is also settings are there. That is only we'll understand by looking inside. Okay, so I'm opening tools, users and computers, users and computers. Okay, it will take time to open. So here it is here, users and computers. So user is there. For example, I right click, delegate control, delegate control. Go to the delegate control. This wizard helps you to delegate control of Active Directory objects. You can grant user permission to manage users, groups, computer, organizational units, and other objects stored in a Active Directory domain. So I'm giving on this group only, on this one only. You can give to user or a group like that. So I have only one user now. I took Aniket. Okay, I'm giving permission on this one to Aniket only. Next, these are the delegation permissions. You can see if I select this one, what happened? Create, delete, manage user account. It means if I give this permission, so Aniket can able to create a user, delete a user, and manage the user things, on which users in the CTS3 OU only he can able to manage, not other OUs, not other OUs. Okay, reset user password and like this. Okay, I will give only reset password. He cannot create, he cannot delete the user accounts, but he can able to reset the user passwords and enforce password change at next login. That option he can able to put it, but that only he can do it in a this OU only, CTS3 OU only. So for example, instead of that, I given like this: read all user information. He can read the user information, but he cannot change, he cannot delete, he cannot create it. Okay, I given only this permission. User can able to create, delete, manage groups. For example, I given these two permissions. So user in this OU, he can able to create a user accounts, delete and manage the user accounts also, and as well as create a and delete manage the groups also, like this is called a delegate control. What is a delegate control? Giving a certain permissions limit on a particular OU, so then we can able to give. This is a domain. These are all containers. These are all containers. If you look at here, this is a computer container, this is domain controller, listed all domain controllers here, all client computers are here, and you can take this computer from here to here also, we can do it. This OU I created yesterday. Okay, you can give delegation control over the OUs. Okay, like you can give delegation control over the domain also. You can give on the domain, on the OU also you can give. If you give on the OU, the user get rights on the OU. Depends upon what permission you given to the user, those permissions only he will get it. Okay, so that is delegate control or a delegation control. User delegation, OU delegation control. So I put a delegate control. So you can give an OU. Some administrative permissions. User got get administrative permissions on a OU. Of course, we can give an a domain also, but we are talking about OU. We can see. So, what is a OU? Organizational unit, organizing users, groups, and computers in a different containers. So, the container we call it as a OU. Advantage is we can link the group policy to the OU. That OU users, groups, computers will affected with the policy, means they will get settings from the policies. And also we can assign a delegation control over the OU. We can assign a delegation control over the OU, like you can give um, permission or a certain administrative permissions for a user or a group. Okay, for a user or a group, certain permissions like changing user password, creating users, deleting users, reading user information, adding a groups, linking group policies, like that. Only few permissions are there, so we can assign as per the required. So this is a OU. Now I will show you how to create a OUs, multiple OUs, how to create it, and how to create a users also we'll see. This is already I created a OU. Now I am click on a, see on my domain, I click on my domain, right click, new, organizational unit. So these are all there: contact, computers, groups, printer, user, shared folder, like that. inet org person, like that. Okay, so I'm creating a organizational unit under my domain. So new organizational unit. So what is this check mark? If you are trying to delete it accidentally, you cannot able to delete it. If you want to delete the OU, you cannot able to delete the OU if the check mark is there. If you remove the check mark, you can create a OU and you can delete the OU if you don't want it. Okay, this is protection purpose. IT support OU. I'm giving cap letters, so then visibility is good. You can give small letters also, no problem. Caps will give more visibility. This is one OU. Inside of OU, I'm going to create a user. So I'm click on a OU, then I click on this white space, right click, user, new user. I'm creating a account IT user one. We can give other things also like Mr. Vedic. I'm copying my first name, put it as a login name. The first one, IT user one at the rate latif.com means user principal name. It's a login name. Like if you are login in the network or outside of your network, or with login to different domains with this account, so then you have to log in with the user principal name. This is only within the network only. Latif slash IT user one means domain slash username. This is called a SAM account name. SAM account. Next, caps lock is on. Okay, now I'm giving a password. Any password you can give. First one is usually when you join an organization, admin will create an account for you and also he'll create a dummy password. So once you got the dummy password and you log in with username and that password, what happened? Immediately to last change your password. So if you want to get like that, so you have to select this one. Otherwise, no need to select it. This is for disabling password never expiry and change password. Already explained that one. Why cannot set the password? This is admin at the rate 123. Okay, like this, multiple user accounts you can able to create it. So I'm creating another account IT. Um, sorry, user to IT user to. These are purely optional. Actually, when you log in, you should give this name only, not this name. If you give different names, login names only work. Like this. Okay, and I'm going to create another OU. For example, organizational unit. I'm going to create another OU called HR. I'm going to create a user account in the HR. Okay, you can put last name also if you want. You given some name here. TURKEY. That is optional. This is login name only. Okay, so for example, if I give a login name like this, so this is a name when you have to enter when you log into system. Okay, not these names, not this name, this name only you have to log in. Just for understanding only I'm creating like this. Okay, so here I'm going to create multiple OUs. You can see organizational unit. The first one is development, any name, development. I click on a development. I click on a development and I right click new organizational unit. So till the time I right click on latif.com and right click a new organizational unit, I went there. But here I right click on development, new organizational unit. It means this OU will create under development. It is sub OU of development. So this is a sub OU. Again I click on a development. You can create a multiple sub OUs also. Okay. So for example, you want to create an account under Java. So click on a Java, right click on this white space or right click on Java, right click on Java, new user. Um, so I don't know the full name. I have a student name called Pratiksha Babar earlier. Never, I forget again.
Sir, MHATRE.
Right, it is easy, but I don't have a MHATRE, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is a login name. Like you want to add something like here, like also you can put it Pratiksha, like Okay, so this is actual login name. If I'm in a public domain, so definitely you can able to access. But we are not in public. We are completely inside a system only, like this. See, this is development OU. Under development, I have a three sub OUs. So in one OU, I have a user. So this user is under domain latif.com, OU development and sub OU Java. That is complete path of this user. Okay, so like this. And of course, you can keep these computers in different OUs also. You can create a users in this OU, and you can give a delegation control to a Butler OU also, and Butler OU also you can able to. So this is how we can able to manage the users depends upon their uh, work location or depends upon the branch, depends upon their work role. So we can able to create those users groups and computers inside. You can maintain inside a particular. So when we see the group policies and when we see other things, then definitely we'll go to this one again. This is very important, users and computers. Anyway, I want to show you like a last batch also didn't show this one. Look at this one, guys. This is the tools. This is the first one, administrative center. Administrative center. I open administrative center. Active Directory, administrative center. Okay, instead of users and computers, we can use administrative center to create a users OUs and also. And one more point I will tell, which is introduced in 2012. We can create a user accounts using PowerShell also. You can create a OU, you can create a users using PowerShell also. Here I am going to use Activity Administrative Center. So if you read this one, you will understand how to use this thing also. Okay, both Azure related things and local related, you can do it. If you want to reset the password directly, type username, password, confirm password, apply. You can change the password. Okay, if this is, you can check it, uncheck it. Okay, if user is locked, you can lock the user also. If user is locked, or user is trying to log in, but he forget his password. He multiple times he tried, user automatically locked. So you can unlock it from here also. From there also you can use it from users and computers, but here is the advanced one. So I click on Latif local. So here it is, all my OUs. You can see a multiple OUs also. You can see built-in computers. This OU we created, this OU we created. This is already there. This is already there. But infrastructure, which is not shown in there. Keys, lost and found, manage service accounts, NTDS quotas, program data system, TPM devices, users. Like extra certain users are there. Is it rhyming or I don't know. Okay, like this. So this is I open a OU. So it is showing users. If you this see this side, this is Aniket. You can reset the password. We can add to the group. We can disable, delete, move, properties like this. It is there. This is about OU. In this OU, you can create a new, delete, move, search under this node and properties like this. Okay. Here in this OU, I want to create another account. Mm, I didn't use Apurva. Start with Apurva. Here I am going to create a new account. Right click, new user. Very fast. So under this OU, this already existing one user is there. I'm going to create a new user. New user. Here I'm going to tell one by one names. Um, Apurva. Forget the name. Doctor. BY, right?
Yes, sir.
I have a friend with same this one, some I forget her name, but last name is same. Sorry, this is the last name like this. So middle initials, you want to give any initials or middle names, you can give if you want it. And I given this as a login name. So this is called a UPN, user principal login name. So this is a SAM account, automatically it is showing. Okay, this is the domain name. This is the username. This is the domain name. This is the username. Then you should give a password. For every user I'm giving same password, admin@123 only. So no need to confuse with this one and all. This is the location where it is stored. Okay, so under latif.com cts3 ou expiry, never expiry, or you can tell certain date and time. You can tell a date and time. For example, mm, what is today? 14th, right? 14 0 7, for example, 2021. It means this account only for 2 months, 65 1 days, 8 hours only. Account is there. After that one, account won't work. Account is there, but it will disable automatically. The account is will be expire. So why it is? Um, you join today as a contract basis. For example, you join in an organization, 3 months contract. If you go to Bangalore like that, you learn a lot of things and you want to get a job. Uh, in a financial year ending, like a November, December, January, so they recruit a lot of people, extra people to complete the work before financial year, means before March they have to complete all the billing. So 3 4 months contact basis, their recruitment is more in a cities, cities like a Chennai, Bangalore, like that. Okay, so they what they will do, so they have to create an account, and they create an account for you, and they will give only validity dates, only particular date completed, expire. In extension is there, extension we can do it. So just like that. User must change password at NAS login. No, I don't want a user change their password. It is purely optional like that. Passport, smart card, Microsoft Passport, smart card is required interactive login. This is a new option. It is introduced here. Okay. For example, users using smart cards. Okay, Microsoft logins, we can able to add here. Encryption option, a user encryption kind of stuff. Other options also there here. You can see that one. Here, this option is product from accident deletion. Sometimes you create a user account. That user is very important user, and while working on the system, it is possible that you may delete the user by wrongly or by mistakenly or wantedly. You want to take delete the user. You cannot delete the user if you put a check mark like this. Okay, so if you want, you can check it. Otherwise, no check mark. Log on to. You can specify particular computer name here. Okay, so all computers are a following computers. So you can specify a computer, which computer he can able to log in. Log on hours, you can define log in hours. For example, your duty is 9 to 6, so you have to log in at exactly after 9. Okay, you have to log in after 9 only, not before 9. 9 or after 9 you can log in. For example, 9 to 6 means up to 6 o'clock only you can work. After 6, automatically you will be signed out. Okay, so like that we can put it. Okay, permit yellow. For example, this is a 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock, Monday to Friday only job is there. Okay, you have to deny first. 9 o'clock up to 6, only up to Friday. Permit. It means you are permitted from Monday to Friday, morning 9 to 6. Still need more. I missed something. Okay, 6 o'clock. Like we can give the user limited access only. After 6, automatically log out. So I didn't give in. This is organization, email ID, office, where office, Kolkata. branch office, main office, email ID, personal email ID, web pages, job title. You can tell a job title also. Okay. Department. While creating only, you can able to give all the information. Okay, street address and all kind of stuff. 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry for interruption. Okay, I have to finish this one, guys. You can add which group you want to add. You can add a group. Directly associated password settings. This is the profile pass. You can describe the profile pass here. Okay, authentication policy silo. Like a user can we can give different kind of authentication for individual users also. Once you are completed, go to OK. Click OK. User is created. Okay, user is created here, but if I go to users and computers, is this user can show here or not? That's important. See, user is here. So what are the information here given? Also information we can able to see from here. Double click here, you can see name, last name, full name, office, email ID. I given there, it is here. So anywhere you created, the information is same. Account information, logon hours. I didn't given anything, right? So logon hours, unlock account, password expiry, okay, profile paths. So if I give there, it will show here also. Okay. So same thing. Here I didn't given for anything Aniket while I'm creating. So information is not there. So that's the difference between account creating here and there and maintenance from there and here. It is actually you have to habituated to use uh, Active Directory Administrative Center. And one more is came up. There is some application if you are using 2019. Okay, a small application you can download and install in your server. You can administrate your Windows server Active Directory through web browser remotely. Remotely also you can able to access. So the more easy it is came up now. Okay, if you don't understand also no problem. What I told. Thing is, this is the way to manage the user account passwords, right? So there is an application called Active Directory Administrative app is there application. Just you have to download, install the application in the server and minimize your server or through your network. Open the browser. Through the browser, we can able to access the server. You can create an account. We can maintain accounts. You can create a groups, maintain a groups. That is a possibility is there. It is there. Okay, but it is not the part. So I want to show you only one thing. So then I will close this part. Understand what is the OU and how to create a user and how to use administrative center. Next, that is important. So I click on Latif local like this. This is my server, right? Latif domain. Here, if you go, you can see enable recycler bin. Enable recycler bin. What is this enable recycler bin means? This is Active Directory recycler bin type only. What is Active Directory recycler bin? If you delete a user, you can recover the user from it. Okay. So if you delete a user now, for example, if I delete this user, right click. If I delete this user, okay, I didn't delete it, but if I delete this user, I cannot recover it. But if I enable if I enable recycler bin and I went to a user, and I delete the user, so then I can able to recover it. Understand how to do it? Click on this domain name, enable recycler bin, enable recycler bin. Click on enable recycler bin. Are you sure you want to perform this action? Once recycler bin as enabled, it cannot be disabled. Once you are enabled it, you cannot disable the recycler bin. Okay. Guys, when you do any option, compulsory, you must read what it is. Please refresh administrative center now and read other things also. Refresh. If you see, you cannot disable it. Now it is gray. You cannot do anything now. It is enabled. Any deleted objects. Can you see deleted objects here? So if you delete any account, user account, group account, so then it will store here only. For example, I'm deleting Apurva. I'm deleting Apurva. Okay, so delete. Are you sure? Yes, I deleted it. Refresh. Okay, I deleted a user. Oh, I created and given so many things. Why I deleted the user? Even I didn't give an accidental deletion also. Okay, now I'm going to Latif. Go to deleted objects. Open. Here it is there in the deleted objects. Right click. Restore. Two options are there. Restore, restore to. You can restore into same OU or you can restore into different OUs. I click on restore and I got the account here. Okay, I got I got the account back. So understand recycler bin. What is the recycler bin? Once you enable the recycler bin, after enabling recycler bin, so what are the users, groups, computers you deleted, we can recover it from the recycler bin. Deleted objects is showing, right? So go to deleted objects, you can recover it. That's it. Next part we'll see what is the groups, and then we'll go to the group policy kind of stuff. One more is there, but I will stop here.